How would you sell your show to let them know that you're very different from everybody else and that, you deserve a spot on their station?
I'm for the people.
Mm-hmm.
It's the simplest thing about it. People don't just know me from that platform. People feel like they know me, and and because I'm for the people, I love people. I'm really a philanthropist, and when people get a chance to touch me and see me, and it's just love. That's why my moniker is favorite cousin, because that's how I feel. And I try to be as respectful as I can. I try to be as aware and enlightened as possible when I'm dealing with people, when I'm dealing with topics, subject matter. I just try to be as solid as I could be in that space, man. I'm not a quote unquote shock jock, so I'm not doing anything that's too over the top to move your needle. But I do feel like once the people get a chance to connect with me, it's hard for them to let go. Because I don't let it go, no matter where. When I see people, they say, "Oh, I don't listen to your station." Well, it's cool, man. Whatever station you listen to, I pray that you're getting the most out of it. And I pray that you're getting whatever message our community is supposed to receive. I hope you're receiving it well. And when you hit people like that, it throws them off because people are so competitive. And you got people who would gladly take a jab at me and clean it up at the same time. Oh, yeah, chop my dog, but I don't see him being on radio long. It was a lot of that going on. It was a lot of that going on early on,
right.
But that's in or there. It doesn't matter. So to any of the stations out here, you got to keep in mind that, what's your man on social media say? They think it's small. You got to think big. That's what I'm on. I'm trying to think big because I want to be I don't want to be the next Steve Harvey. I want to be the first young jock. But I'm using Steve Harvey as a good blueprint and a good person or brand to compare and contrast. Because at the end of the day, man, when you sit back and I think about how rappers are going out, and I think about how people in radio go out, it's a long run for them, man. You got Tom Joyner, who's just now walking away from radio, and he's like 70, man, almost 80 years old.
Yeah.
Damn. That's what I'm talking about, Ricky Smiley. I remember watching Ricky Smiley on Comic View. You understand what I'm saying? Now he's become a household name. And I don't mind naming these other people because the reason I'm naming these people is because I understand their excellence. I understand what has helped them become their household name. So I appreciate these people. That's why I'm speaking of them, whether they're my competitors or not. So again, to any station that would be, inquiring what would be the difference in dealing with Young Jock than somebody else, man, I just feel like God has given me a special light, a special baton, and I just got to carry it as far as I can, man, till he say drop it. You know what I mean? When you're aware of how hard you punch, when you're aware of how hard, being aware of how hard you punch, being aware of how hard you could punch, being aware of how hard you didn't punch.
Right.
That's a whole psychological thing because I understand I haven't been punching as hard in my past.
Well, you may not have had the platforms.
The platform's always been there. Think about it. I was on every time I went and touched down in the radio station and had to be interviewed, I had the opportunity to sell myself. Since the day social media took over, I had the opportunity to sell myself. Every time I sat on a 106 and Park couch as a guest, I had the opportunity to sell myself,
Right. But was that a part of the culture?
Even with the music. I don't know if it's necessarily a part of the culture, but sometimes you kind of sit back and you watch, like, who do people want to hear certain things from? The message is important. That's why you always hear the people say, don't shoot the messenger. Because that was a message they're carrying, but they're saying, hey, I'm just carrying a message. Don't shoot me.
Right.
Because people are particular.
Okay.
People can be very fickle when it comes to who the messenger is.
Right.
You know, and when you speak of our culture, when it comes to the person who's at the forefront that's carrying the message, only reason you choose that person because you feel like they're the most capable, reliable person to carry that message for you. And that's why you get behind them, because they're willing to say the things you would not say or could not say. They're willing to do the things that you could do. You just may not do it. You know what I'm saying? And I think it took some time for me to mature and grow into the mindset and the space of, you know what, it's now or never. Tomorrow's not promised. Why am I putting off my truth for tomorrow when that's not even promised to me? So that's kind of how I've gotten into this space, man, of just being more open and more vocal, because I've seen enough. I feel like I've lived enough to know, I'll be 50 in not long. You get what I'm saying? So somewhere in there, when people are like, "Oh, Young Jock," they're like, "Well, you ain't really that young." I'm like, "I know, but that's my name." You know what I'm saying? You know how I go.